Today we will be talking about Philippine electricity, its state, its solutions, and issues. And today we will be invited people that can talk about Philippine electricity. And now let's welcome. Let me introduce one of our special guests, Mr. Pablo Antonio. He is a simple citizen from Tacloban, Leyte. He is a survivor of Typhoon Yolanda. And as of today, there is still no supply of electricity in Tacloban. So tell us, Mr. Pablo, how is life without electricity?
My life in Tacloban is very hard. Before the typhoon, we are used to use electricity as a part of our lives. The use of appliances like light bulbs, refrigerators, electric fans. But after the incident, we lost everything that we have, including our house. So we are burdened to live without electricity. Even after 2 years, a part of Tacloban, our area, still has no electricity. We have to live with the struggles of living without it. We now relive the past years, even though today is so modern now.
And now, let's welcome Mr. Jerry Copitorio. He is a former governor of Leyte and a former secretary of the Department of Energy. So, Mr. Pitorio, please tell us about more of the state of the electricity in the Philippines today.
The 12th largest nation in the Philippines, which is more than 100 million of its population, spread over 7,000 islands, presenting several infrastructure electricity challenges. Currently, our country is growing concerns over resource adequacy in this power sector. So as the nation faces this growing demand, in late 2014, President Digno Aquino requested emergency powers to the Congress, enabling to lease 600 megawatts of its additional capacity and to take other measures to prevent power outages in Luzon. So now, three main regions, which is the Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao, have each distinct generation profile. Luzon capacity is powered by fossil fuel and a capacity of 500 megawatts. While in Visayas, they currently rely on their geothermal resources and plan to add more 300 megawatts by 2070. And in Mindanao, they are using their hydropower technology and adding to more hydropower plants and geothermal to add its power capacity. So as of now, as a DOE secretary, I would say that our electricity is stable, that 70% of its population has an access to electricity.
And now let's welcome the President of the National Power Corporation, Ms. Maria Gladys Cruz Santa Rita.
I agree with what Mr. Petilio said. Today, as we can see, we have already experienced many issues regarding our electrical power here in the Philippines. Often, due to tragedies caused by bad weather, some electrical poles or power barges of Napocor gets damaged, which causes massive blackouts or power shortages. As the president of Napocor, I can proudly say that our corporation can easily comply with the damages of our electrical power that happened in the past years. National Power Corporation has successfully reduced the incidence of power shortages in far-flung areas around the country not connected to the main grid.
How can you say that, Ms. Santa Rita?
Well, one great example is when a magnitude 7.2 earthquake hit the island of Bohol. 1 in every 5 households in Bohol had electrical power disruption for a week and after the earthquake hit. And within just 2 weeks, Napocor was able to restore the power in 91% of 602 villages in Bohol.
Yes, you have a point there. But still, Tacloban has no electricity.
And now let's introduce our foreign guest, Mr. James Anderson. He is a citizen from the United States of America, and now he's visiting the Philippines. So, Mr. Anderson, in what part of the Philippines did you visit already?
Southeast Asia.
What makes you stay in the Philippines?
I'm just here for a vacation and to visit my relatives.
And for how long did you stay here in the Philippines?
I'm with my relatives approximately 6 months.
Were you satisfied with the electricity here in the Philippines?
I think the electricity in the Philippines is not that satisfying compared to the other countries that I visited.
Why did you say so?
I said it because the Philippines has the third most expensive electricity in the world. In the Southeast Asia that I visited.
Do you think the government is doing something and trying to solve the problems of Philippine electricity?
No, because if the government is doing something to solve these problems, then the government should have an electricity by now.
Then compare the electricity here in the Philippines and in other countries.
Electricity in the Philippines is so expensive than others, even though we are experiencing often power interruptions.
I think this Philippines is better than in terms of electricity compared to other countries because we have many natural resources here.
Mr. Pitoya, what's the solution of the Department of Energy in terms of problems like too high rates, or error in billings, or service quality?
DOE is the executive department of the Philippines. It is responsible for preparing, coordinating, and supervising and controlling all plans, projects, programs, and activities of the government related to energy exploration, development, and distribution. But in terms of high rates and billings, it depends on your electric provider or company because our job is to supervise and coordinate all plans that relate to electricity. Also because some electric companies were privatized, so for them it's become purely profit that matters.
I think you should coordinate with them. Because for people like us who are less fortunate, we can't afford high rates.
I agree with you. That is why we are coming up with plans in order for people like you may benefit.
I don't think so, Mr. Pablo. The applied rates are strictly following the standard system for applying rates. It is not too high because our corporation also requires funds to improve our service. We get that from the 5% of every billing. I believe that NAPCOR is not responsible for the errors in billing because there is a sector who is responsible for the distribution of the bills. Our only job is to equally manage the electrical power usage of every house in the offer of our sector.
How can the government solve the problem of no electricity in Tacloban? What are the steps are they taking since Yolanda happened?
But being the DOE secretary in that kind of situation is not easy like that. And it's a big responsibility because I lived Tacloban as a governor for 9 years. That's the immense importance to me. So just like what I said that time, that I'm taking my position on the line, that I'm resign as a DOE secretary if I never restore the electricity. However, there were only few villages left which have no electricity, but in most areas, we're able to bring back the electricity.
I think your best is not enough. Since it's been 2 years, 2 long years, since Typhoon Yolanda happened.
After the Super Typhoon Yolanda, Aklan, Capiz, Cebu, Iloilo, Leyte, Palawan, Samar, and Bohol are already under the state of national calamity. The death toll was approximately 6,200. Citizens affected by the Super Typhoon experienced humanitarian crisis. In the part of government, they decided to use the state funds for the needed relief. Approximately, according to the Commission on Audit of COA, 30.6 million pesos was used for relief purposes.
But still, there is no progress, Miss Santa Rita.
As a result of the Super Typhoon Yolanda, the province of Bohol suffered another round of power shortages since the main source of energy comes from a power plant in Iloilo. This power plant, along with transmission lines, were damaged by the storm. The typhoon knocked over power barge 103 of NAPCOR in Estancia, Iloilo, causing an oil spill and massive brownouts and blackouts that lasted for several weeks, even affecting the water supply. Affected residents were allowed to return to their homes by the Department of Health on December 7, 2013 Earlier, residents were asked to evacuate from affected areas after benzene levels in area reached unhealthy levels. Electrical power was restored to most municipalities by November 23, 2020. We get difficulties in some areas that were worstly damaged, but Napocor is still working on it.
But we are trying our very best to complete and restore the electricity in the areas which were devastated, especially in your area Pablo and Caves. We could say that the transmission lines are not active, but in the best in your place or home, if it's not have not yet installed proper electrical wiring. If that's the case, we may assist you by your local government unit or the DOT team assigned there.
This has concluded our show for tonight. We hope that everyone who watched learned something. Thank you and God bless. Good night, everyone.